lot less than we've had in previous years. It's an example of the fiscal discipline we tried to exercise. As we stated at the beginning of the meeting, that fiscal discipline has been recognized by the rating agencies around the country. You saw that in the Bloomberg analysis just last week, where they saluted us for staying true to the rainy day fund and beginning to get our fixed costs under control. You saw that again yesterday in the Moody's report, where they did emphasize the importance of fixing our transportation system as one of the retardants to slow growth. You know, that said, we also made a point of explaining what we're trying to do in this bond agenda today. What we did in terms of transportation, what we did in terms of education, over $300 million to fix our schools and new schools over the course of this past year. What we're doing in terms of clean water and DEEP, $46 million for affordable housing in this last session. We wanted to give you a strong sense that within our fiscal discipline, we're making the priorities set to get this state going again and growing again. And with that, I'd be happy to take any questions.
You seem to have some friends here who are in favor of your position on tolls. This is the first time, I think, at the Capitol we've had such a demonstration. What does it mean to you?
It means to me that they understand how important it is that we fix our transportation system without raiding the rainy day fund. And I appreciate their stepping forward with a constructive solution.
Governor, when might we expect to actually see a plan publicly released that identifies how this toll plan will work, where toll locations will be located, how much revenue we might be able to expect?
I think you've got that plan right now. It's in some detail, and we're going to put that, we'll share that with you in more detail if you need it. I think more importantly, we're drafting the legislative bill, and I think we ought to have that done in the near future so that we're ready to vote on this in January.
Why not do a limited...
Because they don't have the money for roads and snow removal. What do you say to them as the second $30 million doesn't come in January?
That we're going to have a bond bill passed by the legislature, in January. Very soon thereafter, we're going to have a bond commission and we'll allocate the rest of the money. They can count on it. They know it's going to be done, and it shouldn't slow up any of the work they want to have done.
Do you think it's fair to hold it or withhold it until you get what you want with transportation?
It's not really the way I'd phrase it. Right now we've committed to make that money available. They're going to have that money available. It wasn't until very recently that we didn't know whether we're going to have prioritized progress and $700 million a year taken out of the bonds. That's not going to happen. We know we can go forward, and they can count on that money. They'll be able to make the snow removal they need to do.
Some of these folks here told me today that they don't think that the plan that you have goes far enough, that they want to see tolls on all passenger cars, as you had previously endorsed. What do you say to them? These are citizens, these are voters. What's your response to that?
That I presented a plan to the legislature, and they spoke to me quite firmly that they thought a trucks-only plan gave us enough money to save the Special Transportation Fund, keep our roads and bridges in a state of good repair, and speed up our rail service.
Hey, Governor, there's some history being made in Washington today. Would you like to comment on the impeachment proceedings going on as we speak?
I think it's not an easy day for this country. I think the Congress is doing what they've got to do, and I support the efforts of our congressional delegation, starting with Jim Himes. So I just think it did an extraordinary job on the Intelligence Committee and making a strong case that I support.
You said last week, and this is still your position, I presume, that you support the resolutions of impeachment and that the president should be removed from office. Is that correct?
Yep, I support, as does our delegation.
Anything new on the session today? Are you operating under that both the hospitals and the restaurants will be approved today?
Yeah, I believe so. Certainly the hospitals is a real win for the state. It saves us hundreds of millions of dollars a year compared to what was just put in the 2017 budget. And frankly, it also provides some redress and certainty for our hospitals, large and small. Having a 2 to 2.25% increase in Medicaid built in over the next 7 years gives them the certainty they need to know that their hospitals will be able to prosper.
Do you really think you can get lawmakers, enough of them, to come in January and vote on the transportation bill?
Yeah, I do.
The trucking industry is saying today that your plan is actually taxing middle-class trucking companies in order to subsidize wealthy people who take a subsidized trade trip to Manhattan. What is your response to that?
I met with the Teamsters yesterday, and they said, thank you for fixing our roads and bridges. We're caught in congestion. Right now, I don't want to drive over a road or bridge that's not, quote, in a state of great repair, good repair. And I think you're going to find that for the truckers, we're going to be able to speed up their delivery, and it'll be a program that works for them.
You also met with the tribal chairs yesterday. Are you at liberty to tell us anything about that meeting?
Yeah, I had a good meeting with the leaders, and I think we're moving towards places where we can reach agreement. Look, the rest of the country and all of our neighboring states, they're working hard on sports betting, iLottery, and some of the other things that we need to do to make us competitive in this growing economy. I want to do that in association with the tribes. We've had a good, strong compact with them going on a generation or so. And we're doing that in collaboration and doing it in a way that mitigates the risk of a lawsuit.
So you're working on something for the February session, I presume, not the special session.
That's right.
What is new on that? We've been talking about sports betting for years, and you've been in for a year. What is new on sports betting to push the ball forward?
What's new is that we're finding places where we have agreement. Rather than maybe go for a whole hog, let's find the places where we think we can get some agreement, move the ball, and get something done in this spring session.
Do you still want some sort of an inclusive plan that includes everything from Bridgeport Casino to iGaming to sports betting?
Let's keep it simple. I mean, right now I think the iLottery is important for us. It's one of the things we had in mind when it came to how we can subsidize a community college and move towards a debt-free community college. I think that's something we can move on. Sports betting, I think, is something where we can reach some broad agreement going forward. And let's start with that and see where we go from there.
So
Governor-
you don't want a global type of agreement like you did earlier this year?
Look, I'd like a global agreement. I'd like to solve everything for world peace. But in the meantime, I'm going to take what I can get. And those are two things where I think we can reach agreement in the near term, which will make a real difference in terms of revenues, make a real difference for community colleges. And frankly, the sports betting could make a real difference for our cities because they include, venues where people can, do that.
Governor, why didn't you respond to the Republican letter requesting a limited half of the Town Aid Road to be released at this bond commission meeting, I guess as a show of good faith?
I think I need to have a bond bill passed to release this money. And we're going to have a bond bill passed in January at the same time we do our transportation. So they're going to have their money, this coming month.
Are you concerned about the regional effort to cap emissions that could increase the gas tax?
No, we're watching that. And obviously this is a regional initiative that a lot of our fellow states are watching closely as well. But that's nothing that I have signed on to at this point. What I have signed on to is what we got to do to fix our transportation system.
Are you seeing wiggle room among the tribes, or are you saying that they no longer believe that they have exclusive rights to sports betting, which is what's been happening?
I wouldn't say wiggle room. What I would say is everybody wants to reach a solution. This is, another one of these issues that's just lingered in this state for many, many years, and I'm trying to solve some problems. So we're doing that with a hospital bill, hopefully today, and I'd like to say we can, at least move forward in terms of the iLottery, sports betting, and maybe beyond in the spring session.
Are you familiar with any of these proposed changes that are being discussed about the State Property Review Board? If you're not,
No.
okay, fine.
I'll say one thing just for the Christmas season here. I see everybody's in a good cheer. I just saw this a few minutes ago, but I'll do my best. 'Twas the day of special session, and all through the House, I saw all kinds of political people, even my friend Art House. Where's Art? Anti-toll protesters are here because they care. They refuse to let the state trucks not pay their fair share. The bill is being drafted with tremendous care. We finally have a solution to all the wear and tear. in hopes that the pro-toll people would soon be there by getting our roads to a state of good repair. While visions of new bridges and train cars dance in their heads, dreams of a better Connecticut, they jump from their beds. We want to get this done. We all know traffic is no fun. For a better Connecticut is worth the fight. So have a Merry Christmas to all, and I hope you're not here all night. Goodbye, everybody.
Thanks, Governor.
Cheers.